The support and locomotion in human beings is provided by human skeleton, and it consists of about 206 bones, and also it constitutes the 18% of the total body weight. Human skeleton is divided into two parts. The first is axial skeleton and the second is appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton is the central skeleton present here. This is the axial skeleton, while the appendicular skeleton are the appendages which are attached to the axial skeleton. For example, this is the forelimb, and also this is the forelimb. These are the hind limbs. So these forelimbs and hind limbs forms the appendicular skeleton, as these are appendages which are attached to the central skeleton, that is axial skeleton. So first discussing the axial skeleton. Axial skeleton consists of skull bones, rib cage, and behind this rib cage is the vertebral column is present. So the skull consists of cranial bones, facial bones, and auditory ossicles. Cranial bones are the bones which forms cranium, the brain box in which the brain is present. Facial bones are bones which forms the facial skeleton, while the auditory ossicles are present inside the ear. And this consists of malleus, incus, and stapes. Stapes is the smallest bone present in human beings inside the ear. As the malleus, incus, and stapes are present in both ears, so auditory ossicles are total 6 in number, and facial bones are 14 in number, and cranial bones are 8 in number. So adding these bones, this becomes the 28 total number. The total bones present in skull are 28. Axial skeleton also consists of vertebral column and the thoracic cage. This figure is showing vertebral column in different colors. This is the cervical vertebra, this is the thoracic vertebra, this is the lumbar vertebra, this is the sacrum, and this is the coccyx. Cervical vertebra consists of 7 vertebra, thoracic vertebra consists of 12, lumbar vertebra consists of 5, sacrum consists of 5, and coccyx consists of 4. But one point is that these sacrum vertebra, which are 5, they are fused together and form a single bone. Also, the coccyx vertebra, which are 4, they also fuse together and they form a single bone. So sacrum is a single bone and coccyx is also a single bone. So before fusion of the sacrum and coccyx vertebra, the total number of vertebra is 33. But after fusion of the sacrum into a single bone and fusion of the coccyx into a single bone, the number of vertebra reduced to 26. So 7 cervical vertebra, 12 thoracic vertebra, 5 lumbar vertebra, and after fusion the 1 sacrum and the 1 coccyx. This becomes a total of about 26 vertebra. Then thoracic cage. Thoracic cage consists of sternum and the ribs. The single bone present here in the chest cavity, this is called sternum, while there are 12 ribs on each side, so the total ribs are 24, 12 here and 12 here, so the total number is 24. As there are 12 pair of ribs present, the 10 pair of ribs are attached from behind the vertebral column to the front, the sternum, while the 2 pairs of ribs are only attached from the behind, that is the vertebral column, and they are not attached to the front, that is the sternum. And these 2 ribs which are not attached to the front, these are called floating ribs. So out of 24 ribs, 20 ribs are attached from the front and behind, while the 4 ribs which are present here, they are only attached from the behind and they are 4 in number, and these ribs are called floating ribs. Summarizing the axial skeleton, which consists of the skull bones, the rib cage, and behind this rib cage is the vertebral column present. So skull bones are 28, vertebral column which is after fusion 26, the rib bones which are 24, central sternum plus 1, and there is also a bone which is present in neck called hyoid bone, so adding 1 more. The total number of bones which are present in the axial skeleton by adding these is about 80 bones. The second type of skeleton is appendicular skeleton, and it consists of pectoral girdles and upper extremity, as well as it consists of pelvic girdle and the lower extremity. The pectoral girdles consist of scapula and the clavicle, while the upper extremity, which is present here, it is also called the upper limb. Similarly, this is the pelvic girdle which is present here, and this is the lower extremity. So pectoral girdle consists of clavicle which is present here, and it is also called the beauty bone, while the other bone is scapula which is present here, and it is called the shoulder bone. Then the upper limb consists of humerus which is present in the arm. The other bone is called ulna and radius, which are present in the forearm, while in the hand there are three types of bones present called the carpals, metacarpals and phalanges. And there are 8 carpal bones which are present here. These are 8 carpal bones, and there are 5 metacarpal bones which are present here. These are 5 metacarpal bones, and also there are 14 phalanges which are present here. These are the 14 phalanges. So the total bones present in the upper limb is about 30, and 2 bones in the pectoral girdle. The total is 32. The same amount of bones are present in this upper extremity, so this is also 32. Adding these 32 and 32, the total bones present in the upper extremity is 64. Here in the text, the pectoral girdles consist of the clavicle and the scapula, and the total of these bones are 4. In upper extremity, there are 2 humerus bones, the 2 radius bones, the 2 ulnar bones, the 16 carpals of the 2 hands, the 10 metacarpals of the 2 hands, and the 28 phalanges of the 2 hands. These upper extremity consist of total of 60 bones. So the total is 64. The pelvic girdle consists of 2 hip bones. The first is here and the second is here, and actually these hip bones are made up of 3 bones, ischium, ilium and pubis, but these 3 bones fuse together to form a single hip bone. So there are 2 hip bones which are present in the pelvic girdle, while the lower extremity consists of femur which is present in the thigh, the patella bone which is present in the knee, the tibia and the fibula which are in the legs, and the 3 bones which are present in the foot called the tarsus, metatarsus and phalanges. The tarsus consists of 7 bones as compared to the carpals which are 8 bones. The metatarsals consist of 5 bones which are present here, and the phalanges which are same as in the hands, and there are total 14 phalanges. There are 30 total bones in the lower limb, and 1 bone which is called the hip bone, so the total is 31, and same is here. So there are also 31 bones. So the total bones present in the lower limb and the pelvic girdle is about 62 bones. Each pelvic girdle consists of innominate or the hip bones. Actually hip bones are made up of 3 bones which are the ilium, ischium and the pubis, which are fused together to form a single hip bone. In lower extremity there are 2 femurs which are present in the thigh, the 2 tibia and the 2 fibula which are present in the leg, the patella which is present in the knee. In the foot there are 14 tarsals, 10 metatarsals, and there are 28 phalanges. So there are 60 bones present in the lower extremity, 2 bones in the pelvic girdle. So the total is 62 bones in the pelvic girdle and the lower extremity. And as there are 64 bones present in the upper extremity, so adding these 64 bones to the 62 bones, the total is about 126 bones. So the appendicular skeleton total consists of about 126 bones. And as the axial skeleton consists of about total 80 bones, while the appendicular skeleton consists of about 126 bones, so the total bones present in the human beings is about 206, which we have read in the text, that human skeleton consists of about 206 bones. Functions of the skeleton perform various functions. For example, it provides the rigid framework for the body, which helps to maintain its shape and resist the compressional forces. Also, the skeleton protects the internal organs. For example, the cranium protects the brain, and the vertebral column protects the spinal cord, and the ribs protects the lungs. In vertebrates, bones store minerals such as the calcium and phosphorus. These minerals are released or taken up back from the blood to maintain the homeostasis mechanisms. When the blood calcium level is high, it is taken up by the bone, or when the blood calcium level is low, the bone releases calcium into the blood. In this way, the bone performs the function of mineral homeostasis. The important function is that bone marrow is a site for the formation of the red and the white blood cells.